Mr. Speaker, sir, as the governmental way, my duty for today's debate is to instruct you, ladies and gentlemen, why in this very complicated debate on a very complicated issue like national sovereignty, like self-determination, stuff like that, you should support the government side of the House. We'll move on to the case extension of the second government and try to analyze the second half. So first, what do we have seen in the second half, in this first half of the debate? We have seen the debate about philosophical principle and practical principle of self-determination and national sovereignty from one side of the House, and some assumption of the future and doubts proposed by the first opposition, ladies and gentlemen. First government clearly told you and clearly explained why self-determination policy should be fulfilled is a matter of consistency in the European Union. When you say A, it's very logical, ladies and gentlemen, to go on and say B, C, and be consistent and not lose your phrase, ladies and gentlemen. What they have proposed? They have proposed some doubts on future NATO inconsistencies, which is not a point itself, because we are debating in the real world, but when Georgia is not a part of NATO and the European Union, there is a strong disagreement about Georgia membership. So there is no strong and unified position in the European Union on the Georgia and Ukraine and Moldova and other countries' membership. Secondly, it's about Russian involvement. First, government proposed some illogical point of view that Russia has constantly, 1 year ago, involved into the Caucasus sphere and relates this issue to today's discussion. But first government and our point of information clearly explaining, ladies and gentlemen, but South Ossetia war was a mistake, definitely. But the Abkhazia affair, there is much difference between them, because South Ossetia is 100% dependent on Russia, but Abkhazia has her own economy, her own infrastructure, and the dependency on Russia is not so large and so huge in the South Ossetia affair, and there is no, and they simply change the cause and the fact, because Russian passports, as Oskar you explained, was a means of help to these people to solve this conflict between Georgia and Abkhazia. Go on, sir.
Given that North Ossetia is entirely within Russia's borders, can you tell us just why South Ossetians are so ethnically different as they shouldn't be?
So the most important difference is that South Ossetia problem was solved by war conflict. And it was never happened in Abkhazia, because first it was Georgian and Abkhazian conflict, and only after that it was a Russian diplomatic reaction to this conflict. So ladies and gentlemen, do not vote for the first opposition who just mixed the cause and the fact. Secondly, they have proposed the analogy of South Ossetia, and the second government brought the analogy of Kosovo. Ladies and gentlemen, you should vote for our analogy, because it's more relevant, ladies and gentlemen. Because there is no any much differences between Kosovo and Abkhazia further. And if the European Union has agreed to recognize the independence of Kosovo, it will be very logical to accept the independence of Abkhazia, which is completely similar to what Inga has said in his constructive point. First, as well, Pandora, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, Pandora box is already opened by Europe with a strong counseling of the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, definitely, Europe has made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen, but it would be a larger mistake to go against this consistent policy of respecting national self-determination principle, ladies and gentlemen. Our opponents are thinking according to the old Yalta principles of European borders, but they are morally outdated, definitely. So there is no more Yalta division of Europe, ladies and gentlemen. And Inga said about legs. Europe has lost one leg, so it remains just only one. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you are a disabled person and you have no legs at all. It's too late to think about sticks and to think about other means of helping. So ladies and gentlemen, please vote this